Year 10, this is the start of your controlled assessment and also your coursework that will go towards your GCSE final grade. So to start you with is we are looking at the PEP, which is the personal exercise program. As you can see, I've wrote it at the top and it's highlighted here in red. So you now know what a PEP is when we refer to the coursework. Then the next thing to look at is the mark scheme. The reason being is so that we know what marks that you need to require in order to score the highest possible marks that you can achieve as an individual. I would say you're all more than capable of performing to a 3 or a 4, providing that the coursework and the guidelines are followed. The next thing I'm going to add is you'll see that I will show you 3 or 4 criteria, and I would like you now to take a couple of minutes and highlight the important information within that. Next, I will show you the structure of the PEP. I'll give you a little bit of time to insert it into your flipped learning, and that is the order in which it goes in. So we'll give you a brief idea of what is expected to go into a PEP and give you some brief ideas and start to give you some thinking time. So I want you to start thinking about the introduction and what may be included within the introduction. The next thing that we will look at is the introduction, and particularly the details that are required to go into the introduction. So obviously at the top of the page we have the title page, name and subject, your contents page, but then I think it's important that you look at the introduction. So I'm going to give you a couple of minutes just to read those points below the introduction and maybe what you might need to include into that introduction. So just here to there. So just have a think about what points that you might need to consider. There is a section on your flip learning sheet that you can start writing brief points about what you will include. What we will look at now is almost a comparison between Usain Bolt and Mo Farah. What we need to look at is probably their 2 methods of training and what they absolutely utilise. So does Usain Bolt use the same 2 methods of training as what Mo Farah does? I think it's important that we almost have like a competition to find out who uses what training and compare and contrast. Now I know that you have done this before in lesson, but the most important thing for me now is that you identify clearly what methods of training they both use and also what fitness tests they would use in order to find out what they need to improve. They are both clearly trying to improve their cardiovascular fitness, but is one aerobic or anaerobic? Remember, aerobic is with oxygen, anaerobic is without. You need to have a little think about what you want to achieve within your PEP, whether it's cardiovascular fitness and whether it's anaerobic or aerobic. As we look at Usain Bolt, we know he will have some SMART targets. Remember that we know that the SMART targets are very much specific, measurable, achievable, realistic and time bound. What you need to remember now is that these SMART targets will be required in your PEP, but absolutely designed for you and you only. So let me have a little think, or let you have a little think. Can you design SMART targets for Usain Bolt, or on your flipped learning sheet apply them to your own PEP? So how will it be specific? How can it be measurable? How is it achievable? How is it realistic? And what time bound are you giving yourself? So this is what the question that I would ask always. Usain Bolt wants to work on his cardiovascular anaerobic system. What would be his SMART targets? What are your SMART targets? Once you've done that, if you have any further questions or anything that you didn't understand, there's a little blue box at the bottom of your flip learning. Enter your question or anything that you didn't understand, a little bullet point, so that when you come to class we can fulfill that answer. What I would add is that there is a